Hamner Nation, what is going on? This is Marcus. Before I get started, I want to thank you guys so much for your support. It means everything to me. You guys mean so much to me, and I greatly appreciate every single one of you. I love you all so much. Make sure you guys always hit that bell so you can get notified whenever I drop a video. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and we're gonna always keep this thing rolling. So happy Thursday. I want to get raw with you guys again. So I want to talk to you guys about believing in yourself. It's so important to always keep your core values, and if you have a dream in your heart, like I said in my last video, you want to make sure that you pursue your dreams. Believing in yourself is so important. Even when no one else believes in you, be it your teammates or your friends or even your family sometimes, if nobody believes in you, the most important thing is you believe in yourself, because you know what you want in your life and you know what you want to grab at, because goals are very important, and it's always important to go after those set goals. And it's important to always knock down your goals, and if there's another goal you want to tackle, go for it again. I've always been presented and still being presented with tests and challenges. As a matter of fact, just sharing my testimony with you guys is actually cathartic for me as well, because I love opening myself up. And actually, the key word testimony is actually test, because you can't go through things in life without going through tests. It's like when you get ready to take an exam, and I've taken plenty of exams, and I'm taking an exam currently. It's like when you're going through a test. It's basically just preparing you for what you've known and what you're actually acquired to do. And test is actually a noun. It's actually a noun and a verb. So the definition of test means things are being set towards you to see what kind of skills that you have. And the verb of test is when you take action to how you do on the test. So when you get ready to take an exam, you have to prepare and study, right? When you get ready to do business transactions, you have to know what you're talking about. You have to get ready to know what you're trying to do. It's like when you're getting ready to speak, you have to know exactly what you're talking about. It's like when I do these videos, even when I did interviews before, you have to know what topic is to talk about, and to be able to present yourself with the knowledge that you've read about, especially on a particular topic. One thing that Ben Shapiro actually said was, he actually talked about, he's one of my favorite guys actually, but he said that a person who's actually an expert on the topic will know everything about a topic. So sometimes you have to know exactly what you're talking about. And one of the things he actually mentioned before is that sometimes people thrust themselves out so soon and they'll know exactly what they're talking about, so they ended up embarrassing themselves. So it's kind of like, you want to make sure that when you're able to present yourself, you want to know exactly what you're talking about. And it's so important, because you definitely don't want to look like you are embarrassing yourself in front of people, or yourself for that matter. But believing in yourself, if you know what you're doing, that's all that matters. And I've been fortunate to have people, especially family, my parents, that support me and support my dreams. Even when other people told me I wouldn't be able to do this, or I even doubt myself that I can't do it, but I always had that firm foundation that if I can do this, it's possible. And all things are possible if you believe in yourself, and if you know what you're doing. Is always important. It's always important to believing in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will either. So it doesn't really matter if nobody understands your dream, or nobody doesn't understand what you're trying to do. If you know what you're doing, that's all that matters. And it took me a long time, and I still go through that too sometimes, as far as like just different emotions and stuff like that. I still go through it like, hey, am I doing this right? What this person thinks. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. The most important thing is that as long as you know what you think, if you care about yourself, that's the most important thing. It doesn't matter what anybody else says, because opinions are like belly buttons. Everyone has one, so it's important, if you believe and stick to what your gut tells you, then that's the most important thing. Because life will always come at you with tests and different types of adversities, but it's how you overcome it that makes you a stronger person. I know at least many examples of tests and everything. Like, for example, like I watch a lot of like action movies, like for example Rocky, for example, and Rocky's actually a really great underdog story because it's about a Philadelphia fighter who basically goes up against all the odds, and throughout the whole series, especially the sequels, he overcomes different obstacles to become the best fighter in the world. And there have been times even Rocky even doubted himself as well. And then he also had Adrian to encourage him, to tell him this is actually what you were training for. So, but I've seen all the Rocky movies, from Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, even Rocky 5, and the Creed series too, with Adonis Creed, the son of Apollo Creed. They're really great films. But I definitely like the story of Rocky because it's an underdog's tale of someone overcoming the odds. How you had a street fighter, in a sense, that came from nothing and then ends up becoming the most well-known fighter. But it wasn't until he became more, like especially in Rocky 3, where he actually became more stagnant. He didn't actually train anymore, which got him to the top. So he basically became complacent with where he was. And that's a dangerous thing in life too, because when you become complacent, you basically think that, well, there's something I can do next. I've done it all. And the most important thing is that when you're climbing mountains, you want to make sure you always climb another. Another quote that I actually want to say, especially from, is actually speaking of Street Fighter. My favorite character is Fei Long from Street Fighter. And one of my favorite quotes is that he said, when you reach the top of a mountain, climb yet another. He actually said this particular quote at his ending in Street Fighter Alpha 3. And Street Fighter is actually pretty educational too, because all the characters have like really great quotes, and some of them are based on real life people as well, because we know that Fei Long is based off of Bruce Lee, who was basically a really great martial artist, and he's also philosophical as well. But he actually believed in himself as well, being the fact that where he came from, he overcame a lot of obstacles to become a household name. And so the same thing with anything in life, and I'm going through it myself. I feel like I have more mountains to climb and more avenues to reach, but I don't think I will ever get complacent when I reach the top, because I feel like I'll have more to learn. I feel like I'm learning every day, preparing myself. And habits are also important as well, because you want to develop really good habits in attaining your goals, be it taking your tests, studying for it, and preparing yourself for success. So, like I said, you have to know exactly what you're doing. So, tests are meant to give you scars so you'll know exactly what to do when you're approved for those tests. So, because I was a really good student, going to school. I was like a really good student, basic student. I had a few A's, B's, and everything like that. Couple 1C. But besides the point, I'm a pretty smart kid. But I've always been good with taking tests, but I always want to learn and be the best that I can be, because I hate failure. I'll just say it like this, to be open with you guys. I don't like failure, but failure is actually good when it comes to learning what you've done. But I'm the kind of guy that sometimes I always beat myself up, when it comes to, not doing what I'm supposed to do, or if I failed at something, it's like I feel like I didn't do my best. But never you should feel like that at all, I think it's important because, I think everyone in life has something to work on. I'm only speaking from my experience, and I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. So, but it's important to the point that when you want to believe in yourself, which is your core value. You believe in yourself, it's not going to matter if anybody else doesn't believe in you at all, because at the end of the day, the only person you're looking at yourself is the man in the mirror. that only person you're looking at is yourself. So you want to be able to know that, hey, I've done my best for today. I did what I had to do. I was nice to this person, or I accomplished this goal. I made this business transaction. It might have not gone the way I wanted, but at least I've learned and done my best. And I'm going to make sure that I actually do well for the next time. So I want to be able to make sure that I understand for the next go round as well. So, but it's more important to pretty much just make sure you get that understanding to where you can know exactly what to do. But believing in yourself is so important. Faith is important, and just be able to know that, hey, I can do this. I'm meant for this. This is for me. I'm going to go for it. I believe I can do it. It doesn't matter what the inner voice tells you, what somebody else tells you outside of your camp. If I know I can do it, it's possible. All things are possible. I know I can accomplish everything. So if I can do it, I know that it can be done. So I definitely want to be the kind of person to where people see me, to be like, hey, Marcus can do this. I can do it too. Just like I mentioned before, because you don't want to settle in life. You never do. The most dangerous thing is the two most dangerous things I want to point out is settling and being complacent, because there's always room to grow in life. There's always room to climb mountains and to reach avenues, because without those avenues and goals to reach, what's the point of even living, So that's the most important thing. So I hope what I'm saying is setting a core with you guys. And like I said, I love doing these motivation videos and also love doing reactions as well. But like, for example, how people always come to me about like my knowledge about comic books and stuff like that, because I've read them my whole life. And so people always ask me questions about the movies, like, hey man, what happened in this movie? My friend Nizzy asked me that same question too, like, hey man, what happened in this particular scene right here? Or who was this particular character? And I off the bat tell who that person is. And people are always impressed about my knowledge of, Marvel Comics and comic books in general. And I know people have different opinions about certain characters, but I think when I talk about it, I've only read things from the comics and what I got from just watching the movies and stuff like that too. But it's an example of being able to, when you know something. And I know that I'm a smart person, not just in comic books, but I think I'm an intelligent person in general anyway. I can hold up a conversation when it comes to like, interviews such as like my opinions of what's going on, the topics in the world, like whether it's political views and stuff like that. I'll give my opinion. Someone else might have a different opinion from me, but that's okay. You're only talking from their experience, and everyone's experience is not the same. So, just like everyone's goals isn't the same either. But the most important thing is that I know I'm a smart person. You guys are smart. And, I try to encourage people all the time. I try to at least uplift and elevate people whenever I can. And the most important thing you have to do is elevate yourself first. When you elevate yourself, then you'll be able to help others as well. But, it's not how you start. It's how you finish, because that's something my mom always taught me, and I even heard it from Nick Saban, Coach Nick Saban. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Nick Saban, one of the best coaches in football history right now, in college football and football in particular. So, but yeah, the thing is you have to believe in yourself, and that's what I want to tell you guys, is that you have a dream, go for it. You don't want to live a life of regrets, what ifs. You don't want to do any of that. You want to be able to just live out your dream and believe in yourself. And I'm actually getting better and trying to get better and believing in myself too. I'm practically my worst critic. I'm like the worst critic ever when it comes to just doing stuff the right way. And I'm actually what you would call like maybe a perfectionist in a sense, but I'm my own worst critic. But I'm trying to get better at that too. So, and then being able to just develop habits to where I can know what I'm talking about and being able to explain properly too. I'm my worst critic, but you guys might think, hey, you sound intelligent, man, or you're very articulate. And I've been told that too, but I think there's also rooms to grow as far as like, just being able to express myself even further. But like I said, I just want to always get better, you know. And like I said, this is how I am with you guys, you know, being raw and honest and telling you guys how I feel and everything like that. So, and even with playing guitar, you know, is a test in that too. Hours upon hours on practice, you know. It's like musicians who perform live. They gotta rehearse, they gotta practice, they gotta perform their moves and everything like that. It all comes with practice, and it all comes with tests, you know. When I started playing guitar, I practiced. I even taught myself a while to practice, and then I actually had guitar lessons years ago when I was in high school. A funny story, I got my first guitar when I was little. I didn't start playing until I was like maybe about the same time I first got it, because I was actually hooked on guitar since I was little. And so my dad bought me my first guitar, and I've been playing ever since. And then high school, I kept learning and progressing, so I took lessons at the University of Alabama from a guy named Jason King. Jason actually reminds me of Chris Jericho from Fozzy. And I'm a Fozzy fan for real. And then Chris Jericho's my guy as well. But I've learned a lot from Jason, especially learning how to play tablatures and basic chords and chord progressions. And some of the stuff that I'm actually playing, I play by ear. So when I hear a certain music, I can definitely play it by ear. Like for example, like the background music you guys hear of Aquatic Ambiance from Donkey Kong Country, I can play that like by ear. You know, it's a key of E flat. And for people who are musicians, they'll know what E flat is and A flat, how to play it. But I guess for those who may not be musicians, may not understand what I'm talking about. But basically, in musical terms, I can play things by ear. I don't necessarily read music, but I can hear it by ear. So, and that's the thing as well. So I've been playing guitar for a long time. So I cover all kinds of songs. Be it contemporary songs to Disney songs or anime songs. So I just love it. So, you know, but like I said, I've had 4 guitars and I love playing. I think playing also requires expressing yourself as well. And you're also speaking through playing as well. So, like I said, there's always room for growth and room for improvement. And I feel like I'm not, you know, at my best, even though you guys might think that I'm doing good so far, but I feel I can be better. So, you know, and then climbing up those mountains always helps too, though. So, but yeah, that's what I want to tell you guys. You know, just believe in yourself. I love you guys, and I hope you guys feel the same way about me too. You know, I hope that I'm reaching out to you guys and encouraging you all, and that these talks actually help out. They actually help me out because it actually gives me, like, you know, self-criticizing myself about what I need to work on and everything. So, and like I said, I'm my worst critic, you know, and I don't mean to try to degrade myself and everything like that, but I feel like I can always work on myself a lot more, you know. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoy my talks. Yeah, I've got other stuff going on as far as like projects going on, everything like that, but I'll definitely, you know, always encourage you guys and keep you all informed and everything like that. So, but yeah, just let me know what you guys think. But always believe in yourself. You believe in yourself, you can conquer the world. You know, basically like what The Rock always says, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, with drive and a bit of talent, you can move mountains. And I'll just leave it at that. So, but I love you guys. Thank you guys for listening to me. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure you guys always hit that bell when I get notified to when I drop a video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.